obviously you get a bit more form if you're off lane, you get a bit more levels, and you can work towards that blink faster. But there is still Clockwork and the Slaughter left in the pool, and Firestarter may try for one of those. Trying to think of who else is really strong right now that might be coming out. Juggernaut is something a lot of teams have been liking to play with recently.
Juggernaut's a very popular carry. I know Klars likes to go with some of the very harm and farm-centric heroes. So like your Sven and your Anti-Mage. He's also played a bit of Gyrocopter lately. And he'll probably be acting as the hard carry for that squad. So I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those cleavy type heroes, but you're right, there's still plenty of space in the off lane. They like to play Phoenix over there, so it's something they're probably considering now as they eat into their reserve time. But there's, like you said, Clockwork still in the pool, Slardar still in the pool, so they have a lot of options available to them.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Phoenix is another one of those heroes where, as an offlaner, kind of it's fallen off in popularity, but it is definitely something where it feels like it's very viable with a lot of the lineups people are running, and a Visage, this could just be the openings of a Drow lineup. I mean, would buff everything up, has a small problem that if people get up in close to her, she sucks, and Tusk can do that, but ugh. Interesting picks from Firestarter.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where they go with this. Like you said, it does kind of open the door to a possible Drow pick, amplifying the damage of the Wind Ranger, Visage, and his familiars. But Gyrocopter picked up by eXecution eSports, so we won't be seeing that on the side of Team Firestarter.
Yeah, and it's... I don't know, I think this is a really interesting draw.
10 seconds
and I think
remaining.
that they have room for Drow, and then if they did run a Phoenix, it's something where the Phoenix has a bit of an easier time in that offlane, just because of the hero lineup.
Reserve time.
Really not sure. It does feel like Gyro, you know, and Shadow Fiend, they could, you can get a blink on the Shadow Fiend, of course. Gyrocopter, typically someone who picks up drums, makes it easier to get up close and personal with the Drow, so, really weird. But either way, Firestarter's turn to pick, and they can be looking for, as we mentioned, offlaner, carry. Do you have any other carries you would prefer that they pick up to maybe pair well with the Visage?
Well, I don't know. Right now there's the Phoenix pick that we were thinking might be coming out on the off lane. So they have that. They have plenty of stun between the Shackle Shot, the Fissure, and even some well-timed Visage familiars, along with the Supernova Egg. So at this point, I don't think that's necessarily a requirement from their carry, so I'd probably go with someone like an AM, someone that's going to be able to stand up to the damage that Gyrocopter can put out later in the game.
Reserve time.
Yeah, it's also always nice to have someone who can blink in and deal with it on a Gyro. Obviously, Gyro, you get up in close, you take a lot of damage, not always the best, but we will see. And oh, I need to close that. So we're gonna be getting down to it. They're actually really low on Firestarter on reserve time, so I have to imagine these picks will be coming out pretty quickly. We do see the Jug ban. They saw it as well. I really think it could be just a Drow lineup. I mean, it's a bit not something we see a lot, and it is a lineup that has kind of a timing peak, but it makes sure Windrunner and Phoenix have such an easier time, and then of course the Visage buff.
Yep, and they would have to be very aggressive if they do wind up going with the Drow. They'd want to close the game out before Shadow Fiend and Gyrocopter got their farm and got the items they needed to just cleave through the rest of the Dire team, because Dire's not going to really give you too much tank ability like across your entire lineup. You would only have Earthshaker and kind of Phoenix as your strength heroes, but Phoenix half the time is sitting in that egg form.
Yeah. So interesting. And okay, not a hero I was expecting, but it does make some sense here. There's a number of things that you would love. Okay.
And the Meepo pick.
Yeah. Okay, we're in not the territory I expected. I was gonna say there's a lot of nice slows here to remove, a lot of debuffs that you can move with that Aphotic Shield, so I understand that, and of course there's Shackle, there's a lot coming out of Earthshaker. But Meepo, your Baden's not so great all of a sudden.
Yeah, It's going to be an interesting game. Any game with a Meepo in it is typically fun end to end because there's a lot to watch, a lot of different places he can be, and if he gets his farm spread across multiple lanes, the jungle, that sort of thing, he is going to be able to snowball in terms of experience and gold and everything else. So he'll be, I think, the hero to keep your eye on Team Firestarter because I think whether or not Meepo gets the farm and space he needs is going to determine their viability throughout this mid game.
Yep, and as we always do, we open with a pause. So let's get this show on the road, folks. Yeah, we do have everyone loaded in, so we can do quick introductions on EXE. We've got Kite on that Abaddon, Husky on the Shadow Fiend, Viking on the Gyrocopter, Dudes, or My Dudes on the Tusk, and finally Canada on that Bane. Tossing it over you for fire starters.
Yep, and just go down the line here. We have Kupo playing the Meepo heading into the top lane. In the off lane, you have Phoenix rotating down, getting in position for that rune. And then the 3-hero trio going down the middle lane for now is Klars on the Earthshaker. You have ABC, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on Visage. Definitely a mouthful. And then Arima Kusai. I'm sure I'm butchering that one.
That's probably a reference.
Yep, let's go with Arima playing the Wind Ranger.
And they've got themselves into a great position on execution for a 5-man snowball. At the same time, they're all 4 heroes. I feel like it is one where the team fight coming out of execution at level 1 is pretty dang good, especially since they will be catching one. It looks like if they have to go down, they're going to be seen. But they go for it, and they've actually moved away on Firestarters. They don't see this. The Gyrocopter is going to be spotted, though.
Yep, the ping's coming out from both teams, and they're aware of each other's position here. You have Visage drawing on the map saying, hey, let's circle around them as they circle around us, so...
I think it's an ambitious play when you know that they have a Tusk, and they're probably going to be being very careful. But either way, we're going to be seeing the general, the same old rune split, and this is a matchup that's going to come a lot down to skill, whether the Windrunner wins or whether the Shadow Fiend wins, so it shouldn't be too action-packed. Although... Tusk, of course, can roll in and do some help out for the Shadow Fiend versus, I don't know, the fissures have to be near perfect to get the same result for the Windrunner.
Yep, and with Bane hanging out in this mid lane as well to assist the Shadow Fiend, it's going to make Wind Ranger's job that much more difficult.
Yeah, they're really trying to ensure the early CS on Shadow Fiend. This is actually something I don't see, what is it? A lot of the professional teams prefer to run the Bane leveling up Brain Sap level 1, doing a lot of harassing and then just brain sapping away the damage the Bane has taken in exchange, but they instead went for Kite's going down in the top lane. None of this matters. Goodbye. He's gonna put a little shield on himself. He's gonna take the melee damage and that's the first blow. I was gonna say brain sap normally over Enfeeble, but it'll work too. And in bottom, this Phoenix, he's getting a lot more than I expected. I really thought they'd be able to zone a Phoenix, a hero who's not, you know, so impactful.
Yep, and with the rotation of Bane down there, he is outnumbered 3-1. He is going to spot out My Dudes, though, who's going to roll into him, and it looks like it's just going to be a bit of harass damage for now.
Yeah, I think actually a mistake there from My Dudes, because now he gets these fire spirits thrown at him, and also something where the Phoenix still has Icarus dive up, so they can't exactly just give it a go again. Yeah, and they're gonna try for it. They're gonna go, yep, Phoenix just Icarus dives away. So, albeit that thing has like a 36 second cooldown, so it's gonna be a while before the Phoenix can play so far up, but you're not exactly zoning him.
In this top lane, they've successfully dewarded the pole camp. And there's just wards everywhere. They've tried to deward it on the side of Firestarters, but I think they just can't see that sentry ward.
Yeah, they might need to bring their courier over, so it's a really big win for Kite, who, as we haven't actually talked about, this is a core Abaddon. This is an offlane Abaddon. Now, it's something I've seen before, but the other team that ran it, they used the Abaddon to get their early push lineup to be even more effective. Of course, that curse of the bonus, making you take down towers lickety-split. So I'm really interested to see how he plays on the offlane. You know, he's kind of like an Omni Knight. You can use that shield to try to escape things, but unlike the Omni Knight, it's not just free magic immunity.
Yep, and you mentioned Curse of Avernus, and right now he hasn't prioritized it. He's been putting points into his Mist Coil, into his shield, but there we go, there's the first point into it, so looks like he is going to eventually get to it, but definitely prioritizing the shield first, which makes sense, especially against a safe lane Tricore.
Yeah, albeit, you know, he can't cast it on himself when stunned, but there's a big slow coming out of the Visage, that Grave Chill, and you want to be able to handle that. So we got some trading in mid, but oh goodness, if she keeps trading, never mind. SF's going to be the one to back down. He would have raises coming up, so I think he could have taken that, but Winrunner would have guessed that as well. So Phoenix has hit level 3, and Abaddon is actually level 4, so Abaddon getting a little bit better of the trade. He did go down once, but you know, sometimes when you're offlaning, you have to die.
Sometimes that's the cost of doing business in the off lane.
So.
You had Klars rotate into the middle lane, throw out a fissure against Shadow Fiend, which was slightly off the mark and didn't trap him in the river, which was the intent there.
It's really rough. I have to stress this. I feel like part of the reason we're seeing the fall of support Earthshaker, just on the wrong side there. Not only is it already difficult to land the perfect fissures, I mean that's something that I think a lot of the pro players have been able to learn, but it's so much less impact. It costs you so much mana to throw out fissures. Instead, you could be having an ice shot which blocks anywhere. You know, you can pick any point on the map, and there's kind of a way to get a good ice shard's block off. You can't say the same for fissure.
Absolutely. And that fissure has been so mana expensive for him, he's actually forced to walk back to base right now because he has no regen on him. He's heading back to pick up a Clarity now.
And with that, we're going to see the snowball in mid. Ice shard come out as well. Can he get the raises? There's also a courier. Maybe they just try to go for this, but no, SF wants the kill, but misses the raise. Doesn't matter if he hit the second one, wouldn't be enough damage. So a few little mistakes coming out, and at the same time, the Phoenix, it looks like I missed that kill going down on bottom lane.
Yeah, I missed that one as well.
Mid-action, pesky stuff.
Mid-action.
So, it does mean that Gyrocopter, it looks like that forced Gyrocopter home. He's getting close to his phase boots, which look to be his weapon of choice. While SF, they might have two Aquillas. And yeah, you can see they get the fissure off on SF, but there's no good way to follow it up. They even managed to get the shackle, but Husky, it's just not enough damage. So he may be chased down, power shot off the mark. And with the TP rotations, Winrunner needs to get all the way out of there. Actually take the raise, that's going to be a snowball. They put Bane in the snowball. They can just go on and right there for a bit of damage. They're both stunned up. Oh, and the Nightmare, there's not enough mana for it, but there's going to be a Brain Sap in 5 more seconds. Visage coming in, seeing what they can do. Nice power shot through, and my dude's needing to back out or maybe forfeit his life. So, ooh, Courier. I've never seen that before. But that is neither here nor there. This game, very even so far.
Very even and very violent in the middle lane.
Yeah. And actually, Viking may go down in this bottom lane here. Icarus dive over the top, going to apply the dot damage. Will he burn? Yes, he will. That was Gyrocopter just kind of overextending, and really surprising too. I feel like Phoenix well known for the damage output, but neither here nor there. It should be something where he'll manage to make it all the way back up in a bit.
Yep, he's already got the Tranquil Boots, so the damage he's applied to himself and had to eat from the Gyrocopter for that dive is going to be rectified pretty quick.
Now, Meepo, we haven't talked about him much. I will fully admit I am not a Meepo expert. My experience with Meepo consists of when Sheepstick plays it, when we play together. Meepo, obviously, he's got an ability to level faster than other heroes. It is something, though, where Flat Cannon, I mean, it doesn't make his life easier. It doesn't necessarily make it more difficult, but these Meepos, they... extra magic resistance. They're gonna maybe resist the cooldown a bit more, but they all have to get up in close and personal. So I'm trying to think of ways that eXecution can kind of deal with this.
Yeah, and I think where you'll really start to see that come into play is when Meepo picks up either his Blink Dagger or Shadow Blade, depending on which way he wants to go with that, and he starts the Wombo combo of diving in and then poofing all of his Meepos right on top of people. But in the bot lane, you have eXecution Viking going on the Phoenix, who's jumped into his Nova and gets it off. So very near death, but
kill. Yeah,
yep.
He has more than enough damage to kill off the Gyrocopter. He can also kill the Bane, misses that last ball, but with the Grave Chill coming out, doesn't need the Fire Spirits, and Bane gonna go down as well. So Firestarter is playing really well at every turn here. And it does feel like they're starting to pull ahead, and not only that, the Meepo's kind of unchecked up in top lane, now doing a bunch of stacks, because of course he does them a bit better than the Windrunner. So he's gonna be getting that Aghanim Scepter pretty quickly.
Yep, he's getting that space, getting the farm that that he needs. So it's something that Execution needs to be mindful of, and at the very least, get vision into that enemy jungle.
Now we have Windrunner making a quick rotation, easily picks up the tusk. They did rotate down a bunch more heroes from Execution, so not sure if they're going to try to do something, but Windrunner with the DB, that is a hard mountain to beat. We're beginning to see Firestarters pulling ahead a little bit. This is the best of 3 is my understanding, right? So we're not, you know, even if they do take a tumble here, it's not over yet.
Yep. Still early in the game, 8 minutes in, 6 kills in. It's definitely anyone's match. You have a lot of hard cores to climb. And speaking of difficult heroes to climb, Abaddon is notoriously difficult to kill now that he's level 6 and he has his borrowed time, so...
Oh goodness, Windrunner, she had an invis there, so she uses it now. She has good vision on all of them, but none of her allies are around to rotate, so I feel like without the Phoenix in position, without maybe the Meepo in position, she's gonna get nothing, and this is actually just a waste of farming time. Albeit the Windrunner, she's doing okay, but she isn't a hero like the SF or like the Meepo who can flash farm, so I think she needs to be farming at all times or finding kills, and kind of running around the Radiant jungle with an invis, not exactly the key to that.
But while she was keeping an eye on those heroes in the mid lane, it allowed Phoenix to play a bit more aggressive against the Gyrocopter, which has forced him back to base to heal now.
Yeah, he's having a really rough time here, a little bit unexpectedly to me. I am, I guess, a bit surprised he doesn't also modify his build. It feels like when you're against a hero who can do a lot of that dot damage and so on to you... Oh, he's also DC'd, that's good. You might end up picking up the... lifesteal, just to make sure you have some lane sustain and are more easily able to farm the jungle, but he's kind of stubbornly going for the phase, and then he's got the Aquila up, and we'll see whether this pays off. He's still only level 5 compared to the Meepo, who is level 8. I mean, this is worrisome.
And the Phoenix is level 8 as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Phoenix when you get a kill before level 6 as a Phoenix, you've won. Pretty much, you've won your lane. And it's something where, sorry, what to say it? I feel like they've won 2 out of 3 lanes here for Firestarters. They obviously won the top lane. The Abaddon, he only did die once, but he really didn't get too much out of it. Level 7, but nothing to write home about. And I think the mid, the SF, sure you could say he won it. Oh goodness, there are 3 heroes around. I don't think this egg gets to 5, especially since he's not gonna have finally. But their spiking is going down on the Gyrocopter. He's gonna have to pop the borrowed time on Kite. He's gonna try to make the tower hit him once or twice, but instead it hits him off the back. He's gonna pop up that shield, and they just nightmare the Windrunner. But unfortunately, the shield is breaking. Oh, the power shot hits. Okay, shield breaking takes off the nightmare. Nothing good. Nothing going Execution's way.
Yep, they're finally able to drop the Phoenix, but definitely not worthwhile engagement. They're losing both your Core Abaddon and your Gyrocopter.
Yeah. So, it's rough. We're beginning to see them definitely pull ahead on the lineup of Firestarters, about 2,000 gold, and while SF may be the top of this palm tree, yeah. So the Earthshaker tried to do a cutesy play. Oh, and the Shadow Fiend didn't check. He didn't realize that after using Spinner, he would not have had nearly enough mana, and now they're going in on Husky. They don't have any mana for help from... Oh, he manages to Shadow... But he walks back into one. Okay.
Oh.
Never mind. They heal him up.
Yep, that last fire almost got him.
Definitely thought the Lost Fire Spirit was going to kill him, but yeah, as you said, like, healing up. That was actually painful. I don't know if they can win all of this with magic SF, because Meepo not that terrified of SF. I mean, you have a bit of extra magic damage, plus you can just kind of pull out the low Meepo, because it's not like SF has catch. I think he's more worried about the kind of snowball warrior's punch which might lock him down. And speaking of catch, Execution actually really likes stuns. And also, there's a gang strain. Kite does have that borrowed time, so he may actually play up a little bit here, but oh goodness, it's going to go up. He's going to take the soul assumption, and he should be fine, but that does mean the borrowed time is down for the team fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yep, and right here, it looks like Kupo is getting in position with his Meepo Prime.
Yeah, I mean, he, I believe, has finished... Okay, yeah, no, he's a little bit away from the Ag, so this means he doesn't have a blink. He's not quite as scary, but this rotation from... Oh, they're just snowballing under the tower. Oh, no, and now Bane... That bottom is going to drop in the field, and our Phoenix is going to go off, but there's the Egg. He's working on it. They do manage to get the Egg from Canada. He he's in a lot of trouble, but I think he might just be able to wander away. A nice heal coming out. The birds have him. Windrunner's actually going to get the last hit there. Now SF trying to go in, but he has no mana. And no mana. Oh, Shadow Blade's on cooldown as well. So goodbye, Husky. That's going to be a potentially going away. And yeah, a little bit unfortunate. Actually, surprisingly, he didn't have a kill streak. He'd just been involved in a lot of stuff. So goodbye, Doc Kite as well. Very ambitious team. He manages to pop the borrowed time, but with no
just
attack,
barely.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to go down.
Radiant's top tower.
Oh, maybe
Yep.
he actually attacked the very low control.
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
that borrowed
tower
time
is
cooled
under
down
attack.
just in time.
I feel like, I don't think so, especially, oh no, he has an own now. Goodbye, Viking. Phoenix needs to get in range. Oh, there's a wand charge popping up, and he's gonna tick out. Okay, it does feel like, I would say, execution. They're being kind of outplayed at every turn. That last team fight didn't even, I mean, Meepo just got the Ags. He doesn't even have the blink yet. They're having a lot of trouble. I feel like they need to maybe smoke up, do something else to get back into this, because they're just slowly but surely falling behind.
And if you look at the vision, they don't have vision of anything up on the enemy side, so that Meepo is farming pretty much uncontested, unchecked, and without any eyes on him, and that's just going to let him continue to get out of hand.
Yeah, as you said, they have a lot of defensive wards, and kind of ironically, Firestarters only has one ward out on the deck, but it is a deep jungle ward, so that's we're gonna gank your cause. I'm actually a bit surprised to see so few wards, and as I say that, Oathshaker buys a bunch. Yeah, we were watching you.
Yep.
We were watching you not buying. He knows. But yeah, oh, we have a nice Fiend Script in mid. Do they have the damage output though? Looks like they do. Drains your mana too, no chance to Windrun at the same time. SF, oh goodness, he's dusted. He's gonna try to get up that Requiem Soul, but it's gonna be a death Requiem. And I don't believe he had time to, yeah, he didn't even have his full souls. It's gonna be a cooldown. They're gonna work away on the edge. Can they catch anybody else? Cooldown didn't actually catch anyone else, but with the Walrus Punch coming out, finally a team fight going really in favor of execution.
Yeah, and pretty much across the board there, that's a 4-for-1 trade, and the heroes that walked away from execution are walking away with full health and about 2,000 more gold in their pocket and 1,500 experience.
So that's what they needed, and I feel like they didn't actually set that up. That was an aggressive dive by Firestarters onto the SF. Oh, okay, I'm really surprised Meepo didn't go for the kill there.
That's what I was waiting for. When you have 4 Meepos charging at your face, you tend to get a little bit nervous, but not that Tusk who said, I'm going for the deny anyway.
You know, some of us have no chill, and I think that's what this does. He has no calm. So, I do think, though, that they're still a bit behind. It's something where if you take out the Meepo who's now topping that net worth chart, you could get yourself a pretty penny in your pockets. And I think with 3 smokes on cooldown for both sides, we should be seeing a bit more of that action.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Visage as well looks to be their mech carrier. I'm not
Yep,
100%...
that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I was expecting, right? It is weird. But Phoenix these days, you know, with the changes to mech cost, or arguably the mech nerf, it's 2 mana expensive for a Phoenix, already a hero who's mana starved, and I'm not sure you would want it really on anyone else.
Well, and Phoenix has been aggressively casting his Supernova as well, so he may not... Oh.
There's a lot of damage. I don't know if they can catch him. Is Visage really just gonna walk away? Okay, never mind. He's dead. Okay. You were saying, for Phoenix, who's aggressively costing, it may not make sense, mana-wise?
Exactly. He's constantly in that Supernova form for the duration of those team fights, so the timing of being in Supernova and requiring to cast mech may not be... They may overlap with one another a little bit too much.
It is rough.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I also am interested to see, because since SF went Shadowblade, he even went Shadowblade before he finished Treads. It was a very early Shadowblade, and I think it was an attempt at getting a lot of work done. Okay, Doc Kite is working away on this tower. Doesn't know that the Windrunner has an invis. She better shut up the Shackle of Dream. She gets one onto Viking. There's going to be an egg as well. There's too much going on in this team fight. Husky gets with the Requiem Soul, but I fear it's going to be a death Requiem to follow. Doc Kite almost takes out the egg. Not able to. He's already used his borrowed time. He has no help in sight, and it's going to be a full team wipe for Firestarters. They lose no one. Okay, so I think it's really, I wasn't sure that was quite the right shackle, but it worked. And
yeah, it proved very effective. Meepo keeping everyone in place, and then just you had Wind Ranger kiting people around with the Wind Run until the Supernova dropped, and from then on it was just clean them up, and Firestarter respawned back to their lost team fight with an aggressive, or an aggressive defense, if you will, against that tier 1 tower bot.
Yeah. It does feel like Firestarters have their number. I'm not quite sure if it's just unfamiliarity playing against Phoenix, understanding how many people exactly they need, or whether it's too much fear of the Meepo, who now has a Blink Dagger up. Aghanim's also finished on Windrunner. This is ridiculously early. It does feel like EXE is being outplayed at every turn, and Gyro, he just has no farm. I mean, yeah, he took a bunch of early deaths down bottom, but now he's 2 and 5. It's looking grim.
He's finished his drums, his phase boots, and that's about it. He still does not have lifesteal, so you have Meepo moving in position, and there's the blink on him. He's going to throw out a couple nets.
There's going to be a cooldown before he just tickles the Meepo. Meepo's like, whatever. This is the price I pay for killing someone, I'm down.
Yep, he poofs one, or he teleports one Meepo away and poofs the rest.
And I have to say, ironically, I was really expecting a game where maybe Meepo got out of control due to the lack of lockdown on execution and kind of the ways to deal with him, but I think it's everybody else. Windrunner gets a shackle on the side onto Canada. They're actually going to snowball in onto Claws, but where's the follow-up? And a big soul assumption. My dudes is going to go down before the Earthshaker, if the Earthshaker even does. Another big soul assumption helps the Shadow Fiend, and with the egg burning everyone, the shackle of dreams. Dark Kite, he has that borrowed time, but I think it's over. He's going to pop it. Nobody's even going to bother with him. They have too much control. Too many heroes know what they're doing around here, and finally Dark Kite, he's going to go down. So.
Yep, chasing Claws into the neutral camp there, but he throws out a Fissure to keep him in place, keep him from doing any damage whatsoever, and that's another pretty much full team wipe. You had Gyro dying a little bit earlier in the top lane, but the rest of the heroes shortly joined him.
Yeah, and this is going to be an over than 10,000 net worth lead before the 20-minute mark. About 13,000 experience, I imagine, when this growth finally stabilizes. It's just rough. It's a lineup that I was expecting Firestarters to have trouble getting online because Windrunner needs a lot of farm. Visage, also traditionally a hero we expect to be, greedily trying to search for an Ags while your Earthshaker is looking for a blink, but they're just dominating.
Yep, and Earthshaker has that blink now. Now that you mention it, I think he's listening to you. You call him out for the wards, he buys a bunch of wards. You call him out on the blink dagger, he buys a blink dagger.
Yeah, but it's looking rough, and it's looking like it might be a quick one as they turn into Vershon. I mean, I think they have everything they need for high ground. Just wait for Phoenix Egg to be on cooldown again, and you pop on up there. Even if you have to lose the Phoenix to place an aggressive Egg that zones you taking the racks, I think they've got it for Firestarters.
I think it's going to be a very tough defense here for Execution Esports in this next team fight, because on top of winning all these team fights, Firestarter are leveraging that space to take towers as well. There's only one outer tower remaining for Execution right now in the bottom lane. And I don't know how long that'll stand because it looks like Firestarter are heading that way now.
It's gonna be rough. Now on the upside, because let's talk some upside. Gyrocopter does have some base hold. Ice shards are gonna be coming out. Raze always clears a creep wave. But Execution, they're choosing to defend this tier 2. I am not sure if this is the right move.
I don't know if they are going to. Yep, it looks like they're going to head back. You have Meepo stepping forward and zoning them back, and once again, they're listening to you, and they came to the same conclusion that fighting into that nightmare up there would be a little bit difficult for them.
Yeah, it's actually a terrifying place, I would say, to have to defend. Obviously, there's the high ground advantage for the pushers, so now we see Meepo, he's going in. They managed to also get the shackle onto Viking. I think that Gyro's going down before he gets anything. They actually put him in the snowball, but it doesn't matter. In the egg, it's burning everyone. Everybody is dead. He does have Dark Kite online. The SF isn't even there. He's just trying to take a T tower on the top lane, trying to salvage this team fight. But they're going to be losing racks here, and there's nothing SF or Bad can do about it. They're just not the heroes who do that. They even get the shackle on Dark Kite, and I wouldn't be surprised to see GG is called shortly after. Not what I was expecting. I've seen some really good performances out of Execution, and this Firestarters team, they must be great.
Firestarters have been playing very well this season, so it's...
They need to sign up for some other tournaments, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think we'll be seeing, I have to imagine we're going to be seeing 2 sets of racks go down, maybe a quick GG. SF doing what he can on the top lanes, but they see better than that. There's a little bit of a sleep coming out from Canada. I don't think there's a good way to stop it, and they're going to work on this next tier 3. SF finally deciding to come home. This will be the be-all, end-all push. He's going to get off a big Requiem of Souls. A lot of heroes going to be caught in that. There's also the cooldown. Can they kill Meepo? Of course, it doesn't matter maybe too much because he does have an Aegis, but they do manage to get... Oh no, the Bane goes down, and with that follows the rest of his team. Triple kill on Meepo. Bane buys back. He's gonna go down. Doc Pike's back in the mix on that Abaddon. SF buys back, but I think that they're losing racks either way. Claws blinking in, being an Earthshaker, doing what he does, disabling Meepo. Finally, he goes down, but Canada, he gets pooped by the Meepo. Dude's walrus punching up desperately to kind of lowest Meepo, but will they even be able to catch him? SF throws that lowest auto attack. They do manage to catch the Meepo out, but they only have 2 ranged racks left. And this is not the place you want to be in 22 minutes into a game when your other cores are an underformed gyrocopter and now an underformed SF.
And the familiars are going to take that, almost take that middle racks. It's going to live with 27 HP. So between the 2 racks that are remaining, you're sitting on 550 HP between you and Mega Creeps at the 23-minute mark. So yeah. If it wasn't a mountain to climb before, it certainly is now, because in addition to that, Firestarter are sitting on top of more than a 25k net worth advantage. So they're going to head back to base, buy a few items, get even more powerful, more destructive, and then probably nail the lid closed on the casket here.
They are almost 30,000 net worth ahead, 20,000 experience, I believe. At this timing, no team has ever come back from this type of lead in a professional game. And albeit this is amateur Dota, but it's on the ticket. I believe if it's on the ticket, it might actually get recorded as stats. So we'll see. But this is something, to say the least. So, I have to, oh goodness, I didn't even catch where Tusk goes down there. I have to imagine that you're kind of thinking here, if you're eXecution, what did we do wrong? How do we salvage it for next fight? And you can see the arrows on the map. They want to get this ranged Rex with 27 health left. I mean, they just have to tap it.
Yep.
Yeah, go away, Earthshaker, yeah, just in totem that bad boy. There's actually going to be an aggressive blink forwards. They're working in on Canada, though Swindrunner is a little bit out of position. She does have Windrun up, of course. They have a lot of slows and all. They're not even going to use them. They don't bother with the cooldown. Windrun is going to go down. There's the cooldown, getting the last hit just in case she Windrun's away. But the top frags, Mega Creeps incoming. The Zara's trying to do it, resummons those familiars, and they get it. Big Echo Slam coming out, and the Death Requiem not enough to kill off Claws. The egg explodes. Finally, the Earthshaker goes down, but they use that Sun Ray all over the gyrocopter, and soon they'll be working in on those tier 4s. GG, 24 minutes in.
Yep, and the GG is eventually called. So once again, Phoenix playing a big role in Team Firestarter, helping secure them a win. Giant eggs, giant team fights throughout the entire match. I mean, since the 8-minute mark, you saw just team fights in pretty much every lane as they just rotated around and tried to force that 5 vs 5 engagement. And with Meepo silently farming up the jungle, he had 760 gold per minute in that match. So that combined with 1,000 XP per minute is going to give you quite the advantage over the Tusker, for example, who got 186 XP per minute. So
I mean, look at this Phoenix as well. This guy clearly knows how to play it. Kind of appropriate for a team called Firestarter, but you don't see Phoenixes with 500 GPM. I mean, yes, this is bases being taken and everything, but Phoenix isn't a hero with farming tools. He had 8 kills, 23 assists. A bit ridiculous. But either way, folks, we're going to get you into game 2 right quick. I'm LlamaDownUnder. I was joined by Darmin. You can see his Twitter handle up on the screen. Oh yeah, right here.
Yep.
Cost, not plural, actually, because I for some reason think it's plural. I'm smart. Let's get into game 2, folks. I will leave you with some video game music and the lobby bumper. English, difficult. We're getting into it.
Game is hard. English is hard.
Exactly.
Alright, see you guys in game 2.